interestingly enough, Dick Cheney and some of the neocons are not getting as much of the deference and respect that they used to on television. I mean, Jonathan Karl on ABC is not even letting Dick Cheney finish his sentences. And Cheney tried to bully him in an earlier clip. Oh, yeah, wait a minute now, John. And I used to work in the past, but now we all pretty much know what a loser and an idiot you are and what an abject failure you are. So no, you wait a minute, right? So what's interesting is this is also spilled over to Fox News. Now I'm going to get to all this. Let's start with Dick Cheney.
Your response?
With all due respect, John, I was a strong supporter then of going into Iraq. I'm a strong supporter now. Everybody knows what my position is. There's nothing to be argued about there. But if we spend our time debating what happened 11 or 12 years ago, we're going to miss the threat that is growing and that we do face.
Okay, I love that. So, no. Let's not talk about what happened 10, 11 years ago. Gee, I wonder why you don't want to talk about it. Wait. If it's such a great success, why don't you want to talk about it? Don't you want to brag? You love bragging, right? You tell us about how you kept us safe, even though 9/11 kind of happened on your watch, right? Because you weren't paying attention. But, okay, so why don't you... No, talk about what happened 10, 11 years ago. But at the same time, you say we should go back and talk about what Barack Obama's been doing for the last 5 years. I thought you said don't go back in history. So you're perfectly willing to go back and talk about what Obama did over the last 5, 6 years, but you're not willing to go back and talk about what you did. Gee, I wonder why. Okay, now what's interesting is John Bolton is one of the top neoconservatives that push for the Iraq war, goes on Fox News of all places, and once again, Megyn Kelly checks his ass. Watch.
Unfortunately, it's irrelevant to the circumstances we face now.
I know you keep saying that, but it is relevant to a lot of people who are out there wondering, how did we get here? Is it not relevant to ask, how did we get here?
Well, it's very interesting, but the decision maker has to look at the environment we have now, and that's why I think it's a mistake at this point for the president to put these 300 advisors in place.
Okay, you know that a lot of people are out there tonight saying, well, weren't you one of the people who was in favor of going into Iraq in the first place, and is that why you don't want to discuss the past 10 years and whether they were worth it?
I'd be happy to discuss the past 10 years, and we can start 10 years before that if you want, but that's not the question that America faces today.
I'd be super happy to talk about it, but just please don't ask me on TV. Please, pretty please. This is almost as much of an admission of defeat as Glenn Beck last week saying, I was wrong, the liberals were right about Iraq. When Dick Cheney and John Bolton go on TV and say, I don't want to discuss what we did 10 to 11 years ago when we started the Iraq war in the first place, they are saying, oops, I don't want people to remember we're the ones who started this mess because we were wrong and we're not even willing to defend it on Fox News. In essence, we can go ahead and play this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
When you've got a Fox News host kicking a neocon's ass, saying you're the one that got us into this Iraq mess, and he has no answer, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Okay, and here's what we're not going to do. When you got Fox News hosts berating these guys, the American people are not at a point where they're going to send troops back into Iraq. And if President Obama makes a mistake of expanding the 300 special forces he already sent in, he'll pay the price. And God, what a monumental error that would be. To appease these bunch of leftover useless idiots, if he brings in more troops, and then they'll turn around and rightfully blame it on him for restarting the war. Oh my God, what a disaster that would be. I hope to God that he's not that stupid.